y'all, it's Kay from the Literary Apothecary, and today we're going to be doing our weekly reading wrap-up for the week of August 15th to the 21st. So first, I want to give a really quick welcome to our new subscribers, and a thank you to all of you that have subscribed to me. Thank you to Tamara Lowry and Leonore Bello. Thank you guys for subscribing. It means the world to me. Without you, I'd just be sitting here talking to myself. So thank you for subscribing and tuning in every week. It really means the world to me. Now, two quick announcements. I'm going to be having some live shows coming up. They aren't scheduled yet, but they're going to be very soon. First is for The Kings of the Wild, which I've been buddy reading with Jessie at the Bookish Mom. I absolutely loved this book so much, and I'll talk about it a little bit later. We're going to do a live show very soon, and the second live show is for The Hod King, which is the third book in the Books of Babel series by Josiah Bancroft. We've done live shows for the first two. Now we got to do the third before book 4 comes out in November. This will be with Evie and Klaus and Joanna and special guest Christina, who is Ellen at the Library of Alexandria's wife. And that, again, that hasn't been scheduled yet, but that is coming soon, and I will put all the details in a future video in my Discord and all my social media links, so you will have that information once we have it scheduled. But I just wanted to get those two live shows on your radar so you can be looking out for information on those. Now, first up, I have some book mail to show you all. I got a bunch of books this week and I'm so excited for them. My amazing friend Evie sent me her collection of the Shadow and Bone trilogy, all 3 books, and I'm really excited to get into these. I think I'm going to do these kind of one a month for the next couple months as my TBR allows, to build up to the Six of Crows duology, which comes after this. And a lot of my friends really love this series and the Six of Crows series, and I can't wait to finally read these and see what all the hype is about. So thank you, Evie, for sending me these like you always do. You are the best. Now, the other piece of book mail that I got goes along with a book mail that I got in a previous week, and that is The Damn Rebel Bitches, The Women of the 45 by Maggie Craig. And this was sent to me by my good friend Kate at Kate Coy, and this is another book about the 45 uprising in Scotland that basically Outlander kind of revolves around. And these 2 books are historical books. Basically, Maggie Craig, the author, takes stories from the uprising and writes them in here, so we all have almost first-hand stories, first-hand knowledge of this, and I can't wait to get into these. I think I'm going to try to fit these into November for Nonfiction November, so let me know if you want to read one or both of these with me, and I'll set up a chat in the Discord for these. Now, on to the books that I finished. This week has been a crazy week at work for me, so I didn't get as much reading in as I wanted to, but I did finish one book, and that is The Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames. I finished this last night, and I absolutely loved this book so much. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. It was so much fun. The characters were just great characters, fun characters. It was an easy read. The audiobook was absolutely fantastic. It had music in the background, and the narrator not only did different voices for the characters, but kind of almost took on each character's persona as he read their lines, and it was so much fun. I did an immersion read while I was following along, and it was so good. Like I said earlier, I'm going to be doing a live show with Jessie talking about this book, and then I will be hopefully soon going into book 2, The Bloody Rose, which has references to the 70s bands. This book, Kings of the Wild, had references to 80s band and 80s music, and I can't wait to see where this story goes because this was such a fun ride. Now, let's talk about all of my current reads. So I've got a bunch of books going. I had started Empire of Black and Gold, and this past week I kind of put that on hold and switched to a slightly easier ebook to read that required a little bit less focus, and that was Akamaf, A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, and I'm really enjoying that book. I listened to the audiobook of the first book in that series, Akatar, and as I'm reading book 2, I realized I missed a lot in book 1 just listening to the audiobook, so I may have to go back to book 1 at some point and catch all of that I missed, but I'm enjoying book 2 even more than I enjoyed book 1. I think I gave book 1 4 out of 5 stars. I'm enjoying this read a lot. It's an easy read, it's great fun, and a lot of my friends have read it and loved it in the past, so I'm finally catching up to some of their favorites. I'm also still making my way through The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. This is another immersion read for me. I'm listening to the audiobook while following along in the text, and this is a read-along that spans from August to October, so you'll hear me talk about this a lot in the upcoming videos. You've already heard me talk about it before. I am a couple chapters in now, and I'm really enjoying this story, and the narrator in the audiobook, I will put the link down in the description below, but the narrator in this audiobook is just so good. He makes it just sound so fancy and kind of like in that romantic view, not romance as in like relationship love, just that romance as in like the romantic writers and the romantic painters, just so fancy and so eloquent, and he just has such a tone to his voice that you can't help but enjoy what he's reading. So I'm really enjoying this read along, and I can't wait to see where this story goes. I kind of have an idea because a long time ago I watched the movie version of this, but I'm really, really excited to see where this story goes in the text and see the differences between the book and the movie. And then later today I will be starting Ink and Bone, which is book 1 in the Great Library series by Rachel Kane, and this is a buddy read with my friend Sharon at Sharon Dwyer. We're going to be doing live shows for each of live show series for our magical library books. So I think it's going to be kind of every other month we'll have a live show that we talk about a book that deals with the magical libraries, and I can't wait for this, and this book has been staring at me for so long. I can't wait to finally get to it. I'm really, really excited. Now let's talk about my next reads. So this coming week is the last full week in October, and between this week and the week after that, I'm going to be trying to jam in a lot of books to get through as many of my August TBR as I can. So next up I will have Anxious People by Frederick Bachman, and this is a birthday read for me for my friend Mur at Mur Reads. Her birthday is next week, and this is one of her favorite books. I'm going to be reading this for her birthday. I'm also going to be reading The People We Keep by Allison Larkin. This was my book of the month pick for July, so I can't wait to see what this book is about. The premise really was interesting, so I can't wait to get into this. I'll also be starting Heart is a Lonely Hunter by Carson McCullers, which is my August Patreon pick by Leslie. Leslie and I are going to be buddy reading this next week, and I can't wait. This is a bibliotherapy book and a classic that I've been wanting to get to for a long time, so I'm really glad that Leslie picked this, and I can't wait to get into that. And then the last book that I will be starting next week, hopefully, is the audiobook for Outlander Book 5. I got to keep going in my Outlander rereads to get up to November for the 9th book. So those are my next reads. That's my reading wrap up for this week. Let me know in the comments below what you've read this week, what you're looking forward to reading next week. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. As always, my Patreon and my Discord information will be in the description below. Keep reading, and I love you all to the moon and back. Bye.